Just yesterday, on Earth Day, hundreds of thousands of people took to the streets across the nation to raise their voices for science. Next weekend, there will be another climate justice march. These amazing acts of consciousness raising are bringing people's attention once again to the immediate reality of climate change and letting leaders all over the world and people all over the world know that we are ready for and demanding change now in hope that it's not too late. These marches are in part people raising their voices for the earth. But they're also more than that. They're huge educational events intended to let people learn about climate science, about each other's work, and about ways to make a difference. The first Climate Justice March happened last year, and the motto of that march was, "To change everything, we need everyone." So, at first that motto really bothered me. Because I guess all I could think sort of cynically was, well, that's never going to happen. We're never going to get everyone to care. And it felt a little self-defeating and a little grandiose when I thought they only meant everyone better get on board and make the environment our number one cause. But as I listened and I read and I learned, I discovered that to change everything, we need everyone had a deeper and has a deeper meaning. So I know that reading was a little dense and thick with words. So listen again to some of them. These are the words of Reverend Peggy Clark, who's the minister at the First Unitarian Society of Westchester in Hastings-on-Hudson, New York. The fight for justice is the fight for life in every form. The dismantling of the human power structure dominance is the dismantling of the same structure that dominates Earth. Our current American paradigm allows one group to exploit another. The paradigmatic assumption is that women are in service to men, poor are in the service to the rich, people of color in service to white people, that Earth and all her species are in service to humans. Privilege has been conferred on the dominant group, and that dominance is maintained by our legal, cultural, religious, educational, economic, political, environmental, and military institutions. She says, when we took to the streets calling for climate justice, we were affirming the necessity of our instincts for social justice in the fight for planetary survival. We are redrawing the boundaries from the ones currently encircling the dominant class to include the people on the margins, and stretching ever wider to include our Mother Earth and all of her many species and systems. Now that's a kind of environmental movement that inspires me and brings me hope. Connecting the dots between other forms of power and control and the attitude of domination that is the underlying cause of the Earth's destruction is such a powerful act. To change everything, we need everyone indeed. Those words, in fact, remind me of the words Reverend Soto says again and again in this pulpit and beyond. All of us need all of us to make it. One of the signs I saw online that was at yesterday's climate march said, "Climate justice is social justice." We're starting to connect the dots. We've known for a long time that the people who live and die with the consequences of environmental degradation are most often, not always, but most often, already marginalized in some way. You've certainly seen this here in Flint. Toxic waste sites, dangerous industry, poisoned water, and other environmental hazards end up hurting those who are already hurting. while those who have already been in power tend to profit. True environmental justice analysis goes deeper than just thinking about recycling and who might be harmed by our carelessness. The idea that it's okay, even natural, for one person or group of people to dominate another, or for humans to dominate the earth, is a deep immorality that upholds both injustice in this world and climate change. The idea that our relationship to anyone or anything should be, hey, what's in it for me? What resource, what profit, what advantage, is the deeply flawed idea of our time. If we are going to survive as a species on this planet, we cannot continue to think that anything or anyone exists for our use, to meet our needs. When we hear about this kind of thing, this kind of thinking about using another person to meet our needs in an intimate relationship, we are usually able to see that that's unhealthy. If one person uses another for money or ego or sex, we call it abuse. We name it domestic violence or rape or emotional or financial abuse, and we condemn it and we try to change it. But how often do we question the assumptions of dominance in the corporate, political, or social world? How often do we go deeper than cost-benefit analysis and talk about the morality of the choices being made? Now, in the past few years, I've started to see this happening when we talk about the ethics of fracking or begin to ask about the morality of businesses like Walmart and McDonald's that make billions of dollars in profit while their employees struggle to survive. What we're asking, what we should be asking, are questions about justice, about values, about the immorality of domination and exploitation that are part of our system that values profits over not just people, but everything else, even the planet we all depend on for, well, everything. These systems are what we need to let go of. These systems keep us in our well. Now, there have been voices calling us to do this deeper work for decades. Voices like the poet and activist Wendell Berry, whose manifesto, the Mad Farmer Liberation Front, was written in 1973. He says, so friends, every day do something that won't compute. Love the Lord, love the world, work for nothing. Take all you have and be poor. Love someone who does not deserve it. Denounce the government and embrace the flag. Hope to live in that free republic for which it stands. Give your approval to all you cannot understand. Praise ignorance for what people have not encountered, they have not yet destroyed. Ask questions that have no answers. Invest in the millennium. Plant sequoias. Say that your main crop is the forest that you did not plant and you will not live to harvest. Listen to carrion. Put your ear close and hear the faint chattering of the songs that are to come. Expect the end of the world. Laugh. Laughter is immeasurable. Be joyful, though you have considered all the facts. So long as women do not go cheap for power, please women more than men. Ask yourself, will this satisfy a woman satisfied to bear a child? Go with your love to the fields. Lie down in the shade, rest your head in their lap. Swear allegiance to what is nighest. your thoughts. As soon as the generals and the politicos can predict the motions of your mind, lose it. Leave it as a sign to mark a false trail the way you didn't go. Be like the fox who makes more tracks than necessary, some in the wrong direction. Practice resurrection. Or you might remember the voice of Rachel Carson, who accepted the John Burroughs Medal in April of 1952. She said, "Humankind has gone very far into an artificial world of our own creation. We've sought to insulate ourselves in cities of steel and concrete from the realities of earth and water and growing seed. Intoxicated with a sense of our own power, we seem to be going farther and farther into more experiments for the destruction of ourselves and our world. There is certainly no single remedy for this condition, and I'm offering no panacea. But it seems reasonable to believe, and I do believe," she says, "that the more clearly we can focus our attention on the wonders and realities of the universe about us, the less taste we shall have for the destruction. Wonder and humility are wholesome emotions, and they do not exist side by side with a lust for destruction." I love her words because they do more than state the problem, and they don't pretend to have the whole solution, but they do begin to articulate something really important. The more clearly we can focus our attention on the wonders and realities of this universe, the less taste we shall have for destruction. There's something powerful and comforting thinking that the first step in responding to the climate crisis, as well as all these other crises of domination and oppression, the first step is not guilt or shame, or not some impersonal set of policies or limitations, but instead the development of a sense of wonder and joy and connection to the earth and to each other. This call to connection and creativity isn't about guilt, but about learning or relearning to see the beauty of the earth and let that beauty empower and inspire us. The first step to solving the climate crisis is to learn to love the earth and each other deeply. To discard that notion that anyone or anything exists for the use of another, and to affirm instead the inherent value of every person and the earth itself. To begin to feel such wonder, such respect, and love for those who are here with us, that we could not bear the thought that they would be used, that we could not bear the thought to waste something, to discard anything or anyone without thought, to let that idea cause us pain because we love. The first step to changing the destructive patterns that are harming our home and our human and animal family is to be inspired by the beauty of the earth and its people. Like the turtle's invitation to the frog, we might be a little scared to leave our kingdom. But this is an invitation to find more beauty, more people to share it with. So my homework for you this week is to fall in love with the earth again. Fall in love with the crisp, clean air, the water we must have for sustenance, the earth that holds us and feeds us. Fall in love with the wild and wide diversity, the beautiful creatures, and the beautiful differences among human beings that make us unique and precious. And let that love move you and guide you as we start to change everything together, healing ourselves and healing this earth that we love. Let love be our first cause. May it be so. May we be the ones that make it so. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.